So I bought this Kawasaki Mule for cheap. It has some problems with the engine. The main one that I know for now is that there may be some head gasket issues, leaking gases into the cooling system. So I'm going to pull the heads today and see what surprise I find. So I'm looking at the head gasket area, and already I don't like that huge gap right there. Not good. And somebody was here before using silicone to seal the cover. Let me start removing the head covers. This one actually is going to come out. It's loose already, all the bolts. Some silicone, homemade gasket. And what do we got here? Well, it's not looking that bad. You know, the previous owner was cheap when they used silicone instead of the original $8 gasket. Look at this. I'm going to remove the spark plugs now. It's just easier when the head is mounted on the engine. Wow, they torque this like crazy. Wow. Not too bad actually, but I'm going to replace them anyway. None of these bolts were properly torqued. Look at that. One actually was loose, probably that's why yeah, this is the only one that was torqued. That's why the head was tilted. Yeah, the head has been loose. Alright, the moment of truth. Let's open Pandora's box. Well, some coolant going down. Oh wow. There's a lot of coolant in this cylinder. Let me get it out. Not properly drained. The cylinder actually don't look that bad. Well, it definitely has something going on here. Some pitting or something. Can barely feel it here a little bit more. I think the problem basically was with the head not being properly torqued, because it doesn't seem to be compromised. Yeah, maybe around here, but that's because it was not properly torqued on this side. And this is how the head looks from underneath. So let's pull the second one. So I want to show you something. Look at the thermostat, how dirty everything is, how much contamination in the cooling system there is. Look at this passage inside. It's just filthy. Cleaning the cooling system is going to be a job by itself. Look at that. Alright, let's remove the second cylinder head. See what surprises do we have. There we go. Alright. Here goes nothing. What we got? Not too bad. This one looks much better than the other one. Yeah, not rusted. The gasket doesn't seem to be as bad as the other one. So I have already cleaned the part washer, the cylinder head, and some of the parts. Next I'm going to remove the valve keepers, remove everything, and keep cleaning. So to remove the valve keepers, I'm going to be using this wrench and the tip of this tool with a magnet. But first, in order to avoid the valve to move down, I'm going to put something like a piece of rag underneath that should hold the valve from going down. Oh wow, this one came flying. Well, so here I have the keeper. I have one of these washers that goes in the top and the spring. There is one more washer here at the bottom, but first I have to remove the seal. So to remove this seal, I'm going to be using a screwdriver, which has a plastic here, so I can pry on the aluminum. It's going to break off, but I have no ones. I'm going to replace them anyway. There we go. And now I can take this washer off. There we go. All right, let's see. There we go. Popping up the seal. Actually, at this point I can remove the valve. There we go. Valve out, and this little washer coming out. Yeah, the exhaust valve going to be clean, a lap. Same with the intake one. I'm going to continue the cleaning process with a wire brush. And you're going to put this wire brush through these holes. Right there and over here. This thread is going to be cleaned as well. Spark plug thread, the same. A little bit of carbon buildup right there. Time to call artillery. Yeah, remember to use safety glasses because this is throwing some of the metal brittle on your face. Changing tips. There is a little bit more in the corner that is not coming out. Let's try with this smaller tip. Oh yeah, perfect. The combustion chamber was pretty clean. Now clean the exhaust seat and the intake. It doesn't need to be perfectly clean, but at least no carbon deposits. So I'm going to check the valves under the microscope, and here I can see the inlet valve with almost no wear. There is no step, no material removed. Although I see here there's some pitting and corrosion. Yeah, there is some little chunk missing, so all that needs to be removed with a lapping tool. And this is the exhaust valve, which looks pretty clean. All these scratches are due to the cleaning process with the wire brush, but there is no wear whatsoever. So I'm just gonna touch it up with the lapping tool. To restore the valve surface, I'm gonna be using this Holtz valve grinder kit that comes with this valve spinner and then 2 compound, coarse and fine grade. So I'm going to start with the inlet valve using the coarse compound just to start cutting as much material as possible. So I'm going to put a little bit on the seat. This is going to be dressing the seat and the valve at the same time. And I put a little bit of compound on the valve as well. Drop it in. And I stick this valve tool in here. And spin it. This whole lapping compound is amazing. I'm going to do the fine one. I'll remove the coarse lapping material from here, and I'm going to apply the fine one. Just a little bit. This Kawasaki Mule is going to be pouring like a kitten. I'm telling you. See better that. Okay, last round. And the total process per valve is pretty much 5 minutes. It doesn't take that much. Yeah, the seat area looks pretty good. This is the exhaust valve seat after lapping. Looks pretty good. Alright, let's check in under the microscope again and see what we got. See, the inlet valve looks much better. All the pitting that it was on the valve is completely gone. And this is the exhaust valve. Just touch up a little bit the surface. I wasn't doing it too much on this valve because it was already pretty good. And yeah, it's perfect seating surface. And final step, let's put all this together. So I'm going to put this washer in this position, not like this, like this. 1 and 2. And next, the seals. This is just pressing them in, like so. 1 and 2. So I'm going to lubricate the valve stem a little bit, so when they start running, they are not dry. Yeah, there is no way you can mess this up. The big one goes in the big one. Just make sure that when you're pulling, you are not taking the seal off. Like that. And the exhaust. So kind of like hold the seal and pass it through. Spring. Spring. And the way I install the valve keepers is very simple. I just put the valve keepers in the washer, put them in, get a ziplock, put the ziplock like that, get a wrench, and let's push down. Just like that. Now this doesn't look like clean, but it's perfectly smooth and soft, so there is nothing, just like discoloration. So I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want to damage this surface, and I'm going to install the head gasket. Before I install the cylinder heads, I'm going to clean the water cooling passages around the cylinder, just to make sure that everything is clean, because the cooling water was very contaminated and there was a lot of debris also from the cylinder head gasket. Just going to make sure that everything is really clean. I'm going to flash and clean the cooling system completely, but this is going to be making things a little bit easier because these passages are going to be clean already. I'm going to blow compressed air. Check with the boroscope just to make sure that all the passages are clean, which they are. Under the cylinder, yeah, perfect, great. All right, let's go. Right there. I'm gonna put a little bit of, just a little bit of anti-seize in the head bolts. Alright, just trying to make sure that the push rods go where they have to go. Right there. Right there, good. I'm gonna bottom down these bolts so the push rod don't go anywhere. Something that I've been fearing in this project is that when I bought this Kawasaki Mule, this cylinder head was leaking and it was actually leaning at an angle. So my fear was that the previous owner, which actually was messing around the cylinder head, stripped one of the threads, and that's why the head was loose on one side. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that, and now it's a moment of truth. See if actually stripped or not. Alright, I'm going to start with 10 Newton meters. 10 has to be 22. 22. Everything is looking good so far. Good. Come on, my friend. Come on. Good. Nice. Nice. And the last thing I'm going to do is to adjust the valve clearance to 0.25 millimeters. Spin this thingy all the way down. And now tighten. And job completed. Thank you for watching.